It's time for some more Arkham Horror, and we are continuing our little core box playthrough with Roland Banks and Wendy Adams, doing it two-handed. And yeah, I will mention that I did change up the decks. I know you're not technically, or no, you're not allowed to switch your deck in between scenarios, but because we played the first deck with the starter decks, or we played the first scenario with the starter decks effectively, and I've gotten some more expansions. I wanted to actually try and properly build a deck. I figure, you know what, let's just see how it goes. So I did make up decks for both Roland Banks and Wendy Adams. At the end of the last scenario, we did get 4 experience points, so I did upgrade a couple of cards. I did purchase a couple of cards. I'll put the deck lists for what I'm using down below. I know they're probably not good decks, but hopefully they'll fare better in this scenario than when my girlfriend and I played when we just used the starter decks and got absolutely slaughtered. Because I've gotten the Carcosa Investigator expansion as well as the Edge of the Earth Investigator expansion. So the decks are a lot more powerful. Fingers crossed, hopefully. So hopefully it should do well. So I've already got everything all set up on the board here. So we are playing the second scenario, which is called The Midnight Masks. And we are playing on easy difficulty. And let me grab the scenario book and let us read what is going to be going on. So if you haven't checked out the last video where we played the first scenario, we ended up defeating the Ghoul Priest and we got Lita Chandler out of there, and Lita Chandler currently is in Roland Banks' deck. And we did end up burning down our house at the end. So Roland Banks does have 1 mental trauma, therefore he does suffer 1 horror right off the bat. And my girlfriend and I have started using dice to keep track of health and horror. Surprisingly, from when I played, my friends and I played a lot of Warhammer Kill Team, and some of the dice that we've used are actually conveniently the colors of health and horror, so it actually works out perfectly. So I use that mainly for that stuff. Hopefully it's decent. Hopefully you can see it on the camera, but if not, I'll mention what my status is. All right, the Midnight Masks. In the wake of the disaster at your home, Lita Chandler, the red-haired woman from your parlor, lays out a tale that, even in light of what you have just witnessed, strains the limits of your belief. The creature in your home, she claims, are called ghouls, cruel beings who plague the crypts, caverns, and tunnels beneath the city of Arkham. These creatures feed on the corpses of humans, and they are served by a dark cult within Arkham whose members have inexplicably come to worship the ancient master of the ghouls. This cult has been killing innocent people and feeding them to the ghouls, satiating a monster's hunger. A dark balance was maintained. Until now. Recently, Lita continues, one of their lairs where the corpses were stored was destroyed. Since then, the ghouls have been more active than usual. I have tracked their movements and tried my best to stop them running amok throughout the city, but I think there is something worse going on. The cult has been planning something darker and more ominous than anything I have yet observed. Indications are that this plan shall come to fruition tonight, shortly after midnight. Beyond that, I cannot fathom what to expect. Many of the cultists, Lita continues, will seem like everyday people despite their foul intentions. Whenever the cult meets, its members don masks shaped like the skulls of various animals to protect their identities from one another. These masks are our mark, symbols of death and decay. We must unmask the cultists to expose and derail their plans. We have but a few hours. The more cultists we find before midnight, the better. So it's already all set up here. We can see we have 9 different locations, and I have there's a little handy guide in the scenario book that describes which ones connect to which. I do need to get some tokens or maybe just toothpicks or something to represent what can connect to what, because that makes it a lot easier. Additionally, because our house did get burned, this is our house, we are removing this at the very start of the game, and so we only have these ones, and we start at Rivertown in the center here. So let us read the agenda and add cards and see exactly what's going on. So first up on the agenda, this is Predator or Prey. Lita seems convinced of a conspiracy within the city of Arkham. She believes that a secret cult serves the ghouls that live in the crypts beneath the city, and that several of the cult's prominent members are scattered throughout Arkham. As you begin searching for them, you can't shake the feeling that you too are being hunted. So it has a resign action. There's 6 doom on the threshold, but we can resign at any point essentially to leave, as it might get a little bit too dicey for us. And then on the act card, we have Uncovering the Conspiracy. You have 1 night to find the members of this cult and unveil their plan. The more members of the cult you find and interrogate before midnight, the better. So as an action, the investigators can spend 2 clues per investigator, so 4 clues as a group. Draw the top card of the cultist deck, which is this separate deck right here, which is a separate encounter deck from the main one. So we can have to find as many cultist enemies as possible and then essentially defeat them to add them to the victory display. There are 6 unique cultists. If there are 6 unique cultist enemies in the victory display, advance. But not all 6 are in the cultist deck, and that is the only act card, so that's our only objective we have to worry about. There's 5 in the cultist deck, and so there's 1 hiding somewhere else. Obviously, my girlfriend and I have played this before, so I know where it is, but regardless, we'll see if that even matters. We'll see if I can even defeat them. So, because we're starting in Rivertown, we can flip this card over. It comes with 1 clue per investigator each. So there's 2 on here. It's Central Arkham. The shroud level is only 1, so we can get a couple of really, really quick clues here. And then let's draw our cards for our investigators. So we got 5 cards for Roland, and we got 5 cards for Wendy. So Roland has drawn Emergency Cash, which is great, some early resource supply. We got Dodge, a 45 automatic, another Dodge, and Vicious Blow. So we're pretty well set up. We got a weapon, we got some ways to buff that, and some battle cards. So I think we're pretty good there. I think I'll probably keep both Dodges, maybe. Well, actually, maybe I don't need both Dodges at this point. I think I would rather look for an asset, or like an ally. So we're gonna set that aside and draw a new card. We got Eureka, so that will actually help out. If this skill test is successful, we get a look at the top 3 cards and draw one. So that just helps us out with a little bit of card draw. So let's shuffle back Dodge. I did end up getting some nice new sleeves for the cards. Good old Dragon Shield. And for Wendy, we got Peter Sylvester, which is great. So an early ally that can help us evade. We got Waylay, which is really, really awesome. So we can use our evade. We can make an evade test and effectively defeat an enemy. We got Rabbit's Foot, nice. We got a Backstab, okay, we got some ways to fight, and we got Flashlights, so some ways to investigate. So this is like a perfect hand. At least I think it's a perfect hand. It's a little bit expensive. There's a 3/3 costing card, so we're gonna have to figure out a way to get some resources, but other than that, I think we're pretty happy with that hand. So, awesome. So Roland is the lead investigator, so we're skipping the Mythos phase. I think we're just gonna go right off the bat and try and get these clues. And I think we're going to commit Eureka to one of them. So Eureka, so we can look at the top 3 cards of our deck and draw if the test is successful. We have 3 intellect going against a 1, making it a 4 versus 1. I just want to make sure I can find an ally. And of course, we end up drawing the auto-fail token. Why wouldn't we? On the very first draw. All right, well, I'm just going to use my other 2 actions to search. Well, actually, no. I think we're better off going to Southside because we did have to spawn an Acolyte there. So actually, yeah, I should have done that. I totally forgot about this Acolyte. So we're going to use Roland for our second action, move into Southside. We're going to see how many clues pop up there. So it's 2 clues, or 1 clue per investigator. So it's 2 clues total on there. And we can also, as an action, draw 3 cards once per game. So this Acolyte is going to engage with Roland, and we are going to attack. Oh, I forgot our resources as well. And that was pretty bad because I don't have my automatic in play. Not like I really need it, I guess. So yeah, we'll just use our last action to attack this Acolyte. It's 4-3. And it's only got 1 health. Oh, it should have a Doom on it as well. Hey, we got our bonus, which is essentially +1 for each clue at the location. But even if that was a 0, that'd be fine. So this Acolyte dies, and because of our Roland ability, we get to, after defeating an enemy, gain a clue from that location. So that is going to end Roland's turn. So Wendy, I think we definitely want to get Sylvester out and play first. So I'm going to do that. For 3. Then I think we will also get the Flashlight in play. Well, actually, we have 3 books to 1. I'm just going to use both my actions right now. I don't think I'll need the Flashlight for Rivertown. So we have 3 intellect to 1, and we're just going to use both of our actions to get these 2 clues out of the way. So we're going to do the first one, +1, that is going to be a success. We get 1 clue for Wendy. And third action, is going to be the skull, which means it's -X, where X is the highest number of doom on a cultist, which is none. So that's going to be another success. So that's a good turn for Wendy. Awesome. All right. So that's going to be that turn. So then we get upkeep phase. We get a resource each. Get a draw a card. Wendy draws. Oh no, Wendy draws the weakness that she has. Take 2 direct horror and remove all cards in your discard pile from the game. Well, this is actually good to draw early because we don't have any cards in the discard pile. Now I could, okay, it's direct horror, so I'm assuming that means I can't put it onto Sylvester, but that's okay. I want to keep Sylvester alive. So that goes in the discard. Wendy gets 2 horror. That's unfortunate. And Roland Banks' card gets, awesome, we did get a ally. We got Beat Cop, so that's good. So we can get that into play next turn. All right, Mythos phase. We get a Doom on the tracker and a card for Roland. Crypt Chill. Test willpower. If you fail, discard 1 asset you control. If you cannot, take 2 damage instead. Oof, that's a little unfortunate. Well, we got 3 to 4. I don't have anything I could really commit. I could commit a dodge, but that'd be my only dodge, and I think I want to save that. We'll just go 3 to 4. I don't really mind taking 2 damage, I think, as Roland. Oh, we got the +1 anyway, so that is actually what we needed to succeed. Okay, maybe it wasn't so unlucky. And then for Wendy, Wendy gets Hunting Shadow, peril card, so no one else can help, and you must either choose to spend a clue or take 2 damage. Well, I don't want to do that, so we'll just take 2 damage. Sylvester can only take 1, so we'll just do that. We'll just take the 2 damage. I have a first aid kit with Roland, so we can heal, so that should be good. We still need 1 more clue, though. We could build up a little bit. I could use Wendy to get the flashlight into play and go down to South Side, but I think we're better off splitting up and trying to get all these locations uncovered first. Roland doesn't have a flashlight, and his investigate would be 3 to 3, which isn't the greatest odds, but it's not impossible. I think I'll just probably set up with Roland this turn. So we can play we have 6 resources total. If I play Emergency Cash, I can then play Beat Cop and my 45 automatic, but then I can't do anything else. I think that's okay. And then next turn we can draw, maybe try and get this clue, and then if we get it, we can move somewhere else. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Let's actually use Wendy first. Let's go to Miskatonic University. Ooh, it's a Shroud level 4. But there's 4 clues on this one. As an action, we can search the top 6 cards of our deck and look for a tome or a spell card. That's pretty bad for Wendy. Well, Wendy can knock it down to a 2, so it's a 3 to 2 skill check. But I think we'll get the Rabbit's Foot into play first. So it's 1 action. Our second action is to play Rabbit's Foot. And I could also set up with Wendy too and get the flashlight into play. Let's do that. So let's spend both of our last resources and also get our flashlight into play with 3 charges on it. So that's all Wendy's turn, but we're setting up. I think we're set up pretty well now to start getting some clues. We need to definitely start drawing cards with Wendy, so I think we need to get Wendy down here. Luckily, Southside does connect to Miskatonic University, though. All right, so for Roland, I think we're going to go with our game plan. We're going to play Emergency Cash for getting 3 resources. Brings us up to 9 total. We're going to spend 4 for Beat Cop as our second action. And then we'll also spend another 4 for our 45 automatic. for another 4. So we're left with 1. So that's going to be all of our turn. Again, we are also very low on cards. Now, this says limit once per game. I'm guessing only one person can do this. So I guess maybe we'll just have Roland do it because he's already here. And we have Rabbit's Foot with Wendy, so Wendy has another way of gaining cards. All right, so that is going to be it for our turn. So then we each get a resource and draw a card. We already got rid of Wendy's weakness, so that's good. So Wendy gets to draw Cherished Keepsake, which is nice. However, we do have Rabbit's Foot already in play, so we'll probably just use this for a will check, because we already have our accessory slot taken up. And Roland gets his weakness. That's really bad. This is like a really, really bad weakness too. So we put it into our threat area with 3 clues on it. And essentially, for the next 3 clues, when you would discover 1 or more clues at your location, discard that many clues from cover up instead. So it's going to block 3 clue gains. Now it says, oh yeah, our ability says discover too. So essentially, we might just not worry about getting clues with Roland, and we'll have Roland maybe protect Wendy while Wendy tries to get the clues, because Wendy does have the flashlight in play now. Ooh, that's really, really bad. And also he'll get a trauma if it's still in play at the end of the game. So I guess we do sort of want to get rid of it, I guess. All right, well, that's not the greatest. We got a Mythos phase, so we get a counter on agenda. For Roland, we draw False Lead. If you have no clues, False Lead gains Surge, which means we draw the next card. If you have, but luckily we do have 1 at least. If you have 1 or more clues, test knowledge or test intellect for each point you fail by. Place 1 of your clues on your location. Oh, God. Well, I don't have anything I can add to that, so we're doing a 3 to 4 check, so we need the +1 or the blue icon. We got a -2, so that's going to be a fail, so my 1 clue goes back to Southside. Ugh, that's really, really bad. All right, we'll have Wendy come and pick those up, because I think we'll get her to... Well, yeah, we'll just have Roland draw cards and leave. All right, well, that's going to be it for that card, and Wendy gets Obscuring Fog. Attaches to the location. That location gets +2 Shroud, and once we successfully investigate it, it goes away. So it makes it a 6 cost. All right, we're just going to not worry about this place, because 6 Shroud, neither of us are well equipped unless we get, I've got a hunch or something like that. Unless we get one of the cards that auto gains us clues, we're just not going to worry about that. All right, well, that's going to be it. Should have flipped these over earlier. Okay, well, we're not going to worry about here with Roland. So we're going to use our 1 action on here to draw 3 cards with Roland. We got our Machete, another Dodge, and Shortcut, which we can play during our turn to move an investigator to a connecting location. I actually think that's good, because Wendy doesn't have to waste an action moving here then. But I don't think it's super necessary, because I think she'll just move, potentially get these 2 clues, and that's perfectly fine. So, all right, that's 1 action. We don't need to get our Machete into play, I think. We also don't have enough resources anyways. Let's move to St. Mary's Hospital. 2nd action. So this is only 2 Shroud, which is good. There's 2 clues on it. And we can use it as a heal for 3 damage. All right. Well, I think I'm just going to gain a resource instead then. Because we're down, we only got 3, or we only got 2. So I want to start getting more resources. Also, this should have 4 charges on it. Okay, well, that's going to be Roland's turn. So Wendy is going to use her first action to move down here. We're going to spend 1 flashlight charge to investigate as our 2nd action to make this a 1 Shroud. So we're testing 3 to 1. I'm happy with those odds. Ooh, we got the tablet, which is -3. So that actually does cause us to fail. Ouch. And if we fail, place 1 of our clues on a location. All right, this is not going so well. However, I am going to use Rabbit's Foot. If we fail a skill test, we get to exhaust it and draw a card. We draw, look what I found. Well, that might come in handy. So only if we fail by 2 or less. That would have been nice earlier. All right, well, let's use our our last action to search or to investigate again. I think because I have look what I found now, I'm not going to waste a flashlight charge. So we're at 3 to 3. Hey, we got our bonus, which is it's a +0. If Wendy's amulet is in play, you automatically succeed. Well, we don't have Wendy's amulet, unfortunately. I actually sort of wanted to fail there, so we could use look what I found. Oh, I guess no, we don't have enough resources anyways. All right, well, that's perfectly fine. We do get one of the clues back. Oh man, our clue gain is super slow right now. All right, well, that is going to be Wendy's turn. So we each get a resource at the end of our turn. Draw a card. Roland gets to draw Working a Hunch. Okay, so that's good. Not super great because we're just going to get rid of a clue from Cover Up. Which, I mean, it doesn't really have much other use. It's like, other than paying the resource cost, it doesn't cost an action at least, so that's good. Wendy, we get Backstab, so we get another way to fight. Yeah, we have a very expensive hand with Wendy. All right, so upkeep. These get unexhausted. We get a Doom on the track. We get a card for Roland. We get Obscuring Fog for the St. Mary's Hospital. So, these Obscuring Fogs suck. So this is going to be now a 4 Shroud. And for Wendy, we get an Acolyte. So that spawns an empty location with 1 Doom. Well, let's put it at Miskatonic University, because we can have Roland go there, fight this Acolyte, and at least get rid of one of his cover-up clues. And it comes into play with a Doom as well. Alright, so it's our turn. Do I want to get anything into play? I think we'll use my other... Yeah, we'll pay 3. I'm going to use my other hand, and we're going to play Machete. Because that way we can save automatic for when we have multiple enemies engaged with us and still get +1 damage. Machete is just nice because you don't have to worry about that. Not that extra damage matters here, but I want to put it into play before I attack because otherwise we'll be engaged. So let's move here. He gets engaged with us. I'm just going to leave him there though. And we're going to use our last action to attack. We're going to use our Machete. So 1 for Machete, 1 for Beat Cop. So we're at 6 to 3. And we get the -1. That's going to be an easy success. So that is going to kill this Acolyte. Get rid of that Doom. And we also get to remove a clue from here. But because of Cover Up, we remove a clue from that card instead. So that's 1 down. A bunch more to go. All right. What are we doing with Wendy? Wendy needs to get some resources. We need to find one of these locations that gives us resource gain. But I also need to get rid of these clues. If I get both of these clues, I can end up using my 3rd action to cash in for revealing a cultist, so we can get to work on those. And I guess we might as well, huh? We gotta get clues. All right, let's investigate. I could just commit a look what I found, but I hope I get the -2 here. Well, actually, -2 or -1. We're at 3 to 3. We get a -1, so that does let us... Oh no, we needed to get a resource first. Oh no, we have 2. We have enough resources. We have 2. All right, so I failed the skill test by 2 or more, so we're going to play Look What I Found for 2 resources. And that is a fast. Oh, that just... Okay, that doesn't really matter. So that lets us gain 2 clues from the location. So we have 4 total. So I think now I'm going to use my 2nd action, because we only did that with 1, to cash in those 4 before I end up losing them somehow. So we're going to reveal the first cultist. We got Ruth Turner. So she spawns at the St. Mary's Hospital. She's got 2 attack, 4 health, 5 dodge. But if we're able to evade her, we can just instantly defeat her that way rather than killing her. I think we're just easier just using Roland to cut her up with a machete. Yeah, especially with the low combat. As good as evading as Wendy is, there's really no reason to do that. We need to start getting resources with Wendy. All right. Well, we have one more action left. I think we'll just start moving Wendy up and try to explore some of these upper areas, because now these are cleared off. Man, these shrouds are going to be really annoying to get. Because I don't think... Because even though I... Oh yeah, this obscuring fog only goes away after investigations, not triggering off Roland's ability. But yeah, we'll just move up to Rivertown because Southside and Graveyard do not connect. Alrighty. Well, that's going to be Wendy's turn. So end of turn, we both get a resource. We got 2 with Roland, 1 with Wendy. Drawing a card for Wendy. We get another Look What I Found. Okay, that's going to be good. We need to get more resources before we can use that, but it'll definitely speed up our clue gain. And then for Roland, we get our Guard Dog, which is not very useful here because we already have Beat Cop. But we can use it to commit to a really tough attack if we need to, which is perfectly fine. Or if Beat Cop somehow dies, because we can also discard Beat Cop to make room for an extra damage if we want to. Oh wait, we also could with Rabbit's Foot, because we did actually fail our skill check with that, we could exhaust that to draw an extra card, which I'm going to retroactively say I did, because nothing else changed from that, which we drew Manual Dexterity. Nice. So Rabbit's Foot unexhausts. Flip these over. And we move on to the Mythos phase. So Doom is up to 4 out of 6, so it's not great. It's getting close, but we've been relatively good at managing it so far. We're going to draw our Mythos card for Roland. Ooh, we got a Haunting Night Knot. It's a really, really tough enemy. So that is going to go on top of Roland's 3 attack, 4 health, 1 evasion, but whenever we try to evade, it doubles the negative modifier, so it's really, really tough to evade. Luckily, we can defeat him in 2 attacks, so not the worst thing. Luckily, enemies for Roland is better than Wendy. So we got Hunting Shadow with Wendy. It's another peril card. That's the same one. Discard or spend 1 clue or take 2 damage. We don't have any clues, so we're taking 2 damage. Yikes. We're up to 4 already. I could split 1 to Peter, but that would end up killing him. Ooh, that is not good. We'll take the 4. Or we'll take the 2. We'll go up to 4. Very risky. We have to be very, very careful with Wendy now. But we're going to probably, after we clear out Ruth, we can have Wendy go down and heal for 3. So that'll be a good game plan. Because we can actually use Shortcut to pull Wendy in here so she doesn't have to waste a turn doing that. Alright, so our turn, we are going to... We don't have anything we need to prep, so we're going to move into... Or actually, no, we have to defeat this Night Haunt first. Shoot. Alright, well, not much else we can do there. Alright, let's use our machete to attack. It's the only one engaged with us, so it can do 2 damage. We get +1 for that, +1 for Beat Cop. So we're at 6 to 3. And we got our positive, which is an additional, 4. So that's going to be an easy 2 damage on this Night Haunt. We're going to use our second action to do the exact same thing again. And we got a +1. Wow, we're drawing really well now. Let's hope that luck continues. So that's going to be another 2 damage with the machete. It's going to kill that Night Haunt. Easy peasy. We have 1 more action. I guess we'll just move into St. Mary's Hospital and have her engage with us. She only does 1 damage, so it's not the worst thing. Because it's either that or I could draw. I'm a little bit worried about moving Wendy around. I could have Wendy potentially try to evade. It's a really, really tough check, but Wendy does have Manual Dexterity. And we could commit... There's actually not much we could commit there. I could commit 1 of the backstabs, so we'd have +3, so it'd be a 7 to 5. Ew, it's a little risky for 2 cards. Manual Dexterity would draw us a card. I could use her ability, though, to have an increased chance of winning. And I think we're safer off just letting Roland deal with her. Yeah, we'll just have Roland. Actually, let's leave her there for now. Let's get some resources, so we have enough to play for like dodges and stuff like that. Yeah, let's just get a resource with Roland. So that's gonna be Roland's turn with his last action. Wendy is gonna go. I think we'll have Wendy go explore East Town, because downtown does not connect there. So we're gonna move up to East Town. It's 3 Shroud, 2 clues on it. When you are in East Town, reduce the cost of each ally asset you play by 2. Okay. Well, that's all right. We'll just use both of our actions to try to get these clues. I do need to make sure I just keeping up on clue gain. And we're going to use our flashlight, I think. We're at 3-2. We're at 3-2 right now. Do I just want to take the risks? Yeah, we'll just take the risks, because I could just end up... Well, actually, move here for 1 action. Let's use our second action to gain a resource. Because if I do end up failing, I can use Look What I Found to actually just get both the clues as well. Plus, I just need resources anyways. So I need to slow down and do that. So we're at 3-2-2. Oh, we got the skull, which is -X, where it's the highest number of doom on a cultist in play, which is 0, so that's actually a success. So that's going to be 1 clue on Wendy, and that's going to be her last action. All right. Well, that is going to be it for Wendy. Wendy's got a decent amount of cards now. So we get a resource each for Roland and Wendy. Drawing a card for Wendy, we get Dig Deep. So it's a talent we can get into play, which will help out a lot. We need a lot more resources. And we get to draw a card for Roland. We get our first aid, so that's good. So we can start healing Wendy. Awesome. So we got another Doom on the agenda. 1 more turn, and that's going to flip. So for our first card for Roland, get Mysterious Chanting. Sorry about the cut. I didn't realize the camera stopped recording for some reason. I don't know what the last thing anyone saw was, but we are ending our current round. We're starting a new round with the Mythos phase. It's 5 Doom on the track, 1 more, and it's going to flip. And we just drew our first encounter card for Roland. We got Mysterious Chanting, which is not good. Place 2 Doom on the nearest cultist enemy. If there's no cultist enemies in play, we have to search for 1. But luckily, Ruth Turner is a cultist, so that does put 2 Doom on her. But even though that increases the amount of Doom past the threshold, the Doom agenda only flips off of the start of the Mythos phase when it places a Doom on it, which is good. So these extra Doom don't really matter. All right, for the other one, all right, we got On Wings of Darkness for Wendy. That's a good one for her. Test agility. If you fail, take 1 damage of 1 horror, then disengage from non-night hot enemies and move to a central location. So we're 4-4 right now. I'm going to play the Manual Dexterity to commit to that. So we're at 6-4, and then we get to draw a card if we're lucky. And we got the positive. Automatic success. Oh, no, never mind. Only if we have the amulet in play. Either way, it's a success. And we do get to draw a card thanks to Manual Dexterity, and we got Elusive. So we can disengage from each enemy and move to a revealed location with no enemies. That's going to be great for moving around the board and getting clues. But we just need to get a butt ton of resources because we have so many high-costing cards, or we have so many cards that cost resources in our hand. I'm starting to see how Wendy should be built. All right, these should have flipped over earlier. I apologize for that. And then we move on to the Investigator's turn. So I think first things first, we already know our game plan with Roland. I think first things first, let's get, before we engage with Ruth Turner. Well, actually, no, we're going to need both our attacks to actually kill her. So let's just move into Ruth Turner's location, get her to engage with us. We're going to use our second action with the machete to attack. We are at 6-2. We get the, wow, we've drawn a lot of these. All right, that's going to be a success. So it's 2 damage onto Ruth Turner. We're going to use our last action to attack again with the machete. Same thing. Wow, oh my god. Jeez. I would say we're rolling hot, but we're not rolling dice. We are drawing hot. That is going to be a dead Ruth Turner, so that is going to get rid of this Doom. We are going to put Ruth Turner in the victory display for 1 XP, which is awesome, and we'll just put that up top, very top there. Actually, we got a little bit of room off to the side. Let's put it there. All right, well, it's going to be Roland's turn. Great turn. And because we did kill an enemy location, we can remove another one of our clues from cover-up. So we need one more. So we can actually start getting clues with Roland fairly soon here. All right, with Wendy, I'm tempted to just... Well, let's see here. I don't think I need to dig deep into play right now. Let's use one action to try and search this. We're at 3... and I'm going to use my flashlight because I don't want to use look what I found because there's only 1 clue left. So it's at a 0. So pretty much anything but the auto fail will succeed. And that's going to be the cultist icon. It's -2 and place 1 doom on the nearest cultist enemy. We got rid of that. Not like it would have mattered. And that, so no doom gets placed. That's going to be a success. So it's going to get another clue onto Wendy. We are going to use our second action, I think, to move back to Rivertown, because I think we want to go back to St. Mary's Hospital and start healing. And then we're going to use our third action, because Roland can actually pull her into here for free, to gain a resource to start preparing for when we have to start slinging cards. So we're up to 4 resources with Wendy now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we have 7 cards, so we don't have to discard just yet. All right, that's going to be Wendy's turn. So... now that that is done, we get to move on to the upkeep phase. So these flip over. We get our colors back. We get a resource each and draw a card. So Wendy gets to draw emergency cash, which is great. Definitely using that next turn. And for Roland, we draw another machete, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're max hand size with both. All right. We need to start spending some of these cards, so Machete can be used for just another fight if we need to. All right, and then we go to the Mythos phase, so we do have to have our 6th Doom placed on the agenda, and that flips over. So we have the Masked Hunter. So this is the 6th cultist that was hidden. Very, very difficult enemy. 4 combat, 4 health, and 2 evasion. Targets the most clues as a prey. Engages... ooh, that's going to be Wendy. All right, Wendy's going to have to try to dodge this person. Hunter, so he moves around, and he gets +2 health per investigator. So that's going to be 8 health total. And while you're engaged, you cannot discover or spend clues. So that's going to engage with Wendy here. Oh boy. All right. Well, we got to do our encounter cards. So for Roland, we get Hunting Shadow. You must either choose to remove a clue or take 2 damage. We don't have any clues, so we'll just take 2 damage. That's perfectly fine. Roland is... It's the first time we've taken damage with Roland. And then for Wendy, we get... Ooh, we get another enemy. That's not good. So Wendy's engaged with 2 enemies now. Well, actually, spawn at an empty location. And it starts with 1 Doom. Again, let's put it on a place that Roland is going to move into to get a clue from so we can kill it. So we'll go to Miskatonic University. We'll place it in there. And he places with a Doom. Oops, that's a 3 Doom. Don't want that much Doom. Okay, so that is going to be it for the Mythos phase. Well, I think Roland's game plan is a little bit more muddled because we could have used Shortcut to... Oh, Shortcut only works for... Okay, I see. Shortcut only puts an ally into another spot, not pulls an ally. Oh, it's a little bit more awkward. Well, then I guess we will just move to this Acolyte, engage with him. We're at 6-3 attacking. Is there any point to... I guess I could go towards the Masked Hunter. I could engage it off of Wendy. It's going to be an annoying enemy to kill. I think it's much easier just to keep evading. Either way, we should get rid of the Acolyte. Oh, also reading the new agenda card. We got time is running short. The minutes pass quickly as your investigation continues. It's 8 is on the Doom tracker. It's essentially our timer because the only other action we can take on it is resign, just like before. So we have essentially 8 more rounds. All right, yeah, let's just kill this Acolyte. Second action, using our machete and beat cop, we're 6 to 3. It's gonna be a -1. That's gonna be a success to kill this Acolyte. And we get a clue from the location, but because of that, we get to remove our last clue off of cover up instead, and that goes to our discard pile. All right, so we can actually start getting clues as Roland now. All right, so that's gonna be our second action. Our third action, I think we're just gonna, because we need to get cards out of our hand, we're gonna spend 2 resources and get our first aid kit into play. And that is gonna be it for Roland's turn as his last action. Okay, well, Wendy, what do you want to do with Wendy? Could spend 2 resources to do elusive just to get a free disengage. But I think we're just going to try... Oh, wait. Oh, the Masked Hunter's elite, so we can't waylay it. You know, I do have 2 backstabs. I could do a lot of damage. Maybe we'll backstab once and then evade. Because we're going to get cards out of our hand anyways. And it'll help so Roland doesn't have to spend as much. Because we need to get to St. Mary's Hospital. Well, actually, no. I need to evade as 1 action, move to St. Mary's Hospital, and then heal as a 3rd action. So that actually won't work. Alright, well, let's just evade this thing then. We're just going to evade with the Masked Hunter. He's got 2 evasion. We have 4, 5 with Sylvester. So, yeah, we're just going to do 5. 5 to 2. We got the 0. That's going to be a success. So the Masked Hunter exhausts. Gets exhausted, and we disengage. We're going to use our second action to move to St. Mary's Hospital, and then use our last action to do the heal for 3 damage, which brings us down to 1. So we're at 1 damage and 2 horror. And plus, now the Masked Hunter will have to spend a turn readying up, which is good. Okay, well that is going to be our turn. So, end of the round, we get resource each, draw a card. Wendy draws another emergency cache. All right, we got a lot of stuff. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have to discard 1 card. I think we're just going to discard the Cherished Keepsake because we don't really need that anymore. And then for Roland, Roland draws another Eureka. So that can help us search through our deck a little bit more. 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, we're at max hand size with Roland. All right, so that's going to do it. So starting a new Mythos phase, we get a Doom on the agenda. Encounter card for Roland. Also need to flip these cards over. Also, Masked Hunter will unexhaust. Now, does he move as well? Yeah, no, during the enemy phase, only... As in, enemies with the Hunter keyword move towards the nearest investigator, so do they still move even if they're exhausted? I guess so. I don't see why not. Doesn't say that. Actually, let's double check. Let me check the rulebook. Exhausted. All right, turns out exhausted enemies do not move. So enemy phase is not going to do anything. It's just going to re-engage. Back to the Mythos phase. So Roland drew False Lead. If you have no clues, False Lead gains Surge. Oh, we don't have any clues, so we have to draw the next card. Okay. We got Crypt Chill. Test willpower. If you fail, choose and discard 1 asset you control. If you cannot, take 2 damage instead. Ugh. All right, well, I have a lot of assets I don't want to really get rid of. So that's going to be a 3 to 4 test. I think we'll commit maybe one of our dodges and Eureka. So I don't really want to get rid of stuff. I don't think I really need 2 dodges at the moment. And then if we pass with Eureka, I actually get to draw a card off of it anyways. So yeah, we'll do that. So we're at 4 to 3. Or actually, no, we're at 5 to 4. So let's do that. 5 to 4. We got the -1, so it's actually good that I got rid of or committed both those cards. So it's going to be a success, just barely. And because of Eureka, we get to look at the top 3 cards of our deck, draw it, and then shuffle. So we got Heavy Furs, Overpower, and Guard Dog. Heavy Furs is pretty good. Gives us extra health. Overpower is also good, though. I think I might take the Overpower instead. Well, actually, no, Heavy Furs is really good. And we don't have any enemies currently engaged with us. That'll help us fight the Masked Hunter. But so will Overpower, I guess. Yeah, let's... Heavy Furs helps us with some redraws. Yeah, let's take Heavy Furs. So we're going to take Heavy Furs, put that into our hand. And we're going to shuffle our deck. I think both cards are perfectly fine, but I think we do have enough combat to deal with most things anyways. Alright, and that is going to be the encounter card for Roland. So Wendy gets... Oh, Wendy gets a Haunting Night Knot. This is the like, worst one for her. So that engages with her. Might need to use these backstabs to kill it. I mean, I guess it depends. We do have really good evasion, so I guess we couldn't probably likely, if anything, she's the best at having to potentially evade Haunting Night Knot. But how do we kill it then? I don't think I want to use backstabs. We could try and dodge and then use Waylay, because it's not an elite. Yeah, it's not the worst thing. Alright, let's use our first action to evade this Night Knot. We're at 5 to 1, but the negative modifier is doubled. We got a 0, so that's going to be nothing. So that's going to be a success. So this Night Knot gets exhausted. And then we're going to use our second action to use Waylay. We got to choose an exhausted non-elite enemy at your location and test X, where X is that enemy's evade value, which is just 1 here. And if you succeed, we just defeat that enemy. So we're going to pay 3 for that. And we got 5 to 1. -2. That's going to be a success. So because of Waylay, that automatically gets defeated. All right, we have one more action left. I think we are just going to use Emergency Cash, get that out of our hand, and get 3 more resources. So we have 6 total. All right, we're in much better shape, I think, with Wendy. Still need to get those clues. It really sucks that these are pretty much locked out for us to investigate at. But as long as we can kill an enemy with Roland now, that'll be okay. Alright. Well, Roland's turn. I think we will... I really want the Masked Hunter to be in a location that we can get a clue from. But that's okay. We're going to use 2 resources. We're going to play our Heavy Furs. We have so many frickin' assets on Roland right now. There's not enough room. So you got Heavy Furs. And we're going to use our second action to move into Masked Hunter to engage. And then our last action to start fighting him. So let's see. Right now we're at, with our machete, we're at 6 to 4. I'm going to use Vicious Blow, so that puts us to 7-4. And that'll be fine there, I think. Oh, actually, before I leave this location, I just realized I'm going to retroactively pay another 2, our last resources, to use Working a Hunch, so we can get one of those clues onto Roland. Because it's fast, so it doesn't cost an action. Alright, and then we'll continue with our attack. So we're at 7-4. Oh, we would draw the autofail. Dang it, we draw the autofail in the worst possible situations. Oh, now I don't have enough resources to dodge. That's gonna hurt. I mean, I might just get the heavy furs to take it. Unfortunately, we can't use heavy furs on the autofail token. The one time where we need it. Alright, well, enemy phase, Mask Hunter is going to attack us, does 2 damage and 1 horror. We're just going to use the heavy furs to block the 2 damage, and then we'll distribute the horror onto our Beat Cop, so we don't take any damage. So Beat Cop has 1 horror out of 2. And that's going to exhaust him. Upkeep phase, though, exhausts back. Both get a resource. And draw a card. Roland gets another Beat Cop. Okay, we can discard our other one if we need to then. Need more resources, but that's okay. And for Wendy, we get Wendy's amulet. Her signature amulet. Is that worth getting rid of the rabbit's foot? I mean, it seems pretty good, huh? I mean, we've drawn a couple of cards off Rabbit's Foot. We're at pretty much max hand size now. I think we're fine getting rid of it. Alright, then we have the Mythos phase. We get another Doom on the tracker. Roland draws Locked Door. Attached to the location with the most clues without a locked door attached cannot be investigated, and we have to test Might or Agility to break it. So the 3 on this, so this not only is obscured, but also has a locked door on it. That's fine. And then for Wendy, we draw another locked door. Alright, well, this other location gets trapped. Well, that's a little bit annoying. That is very annoying. Okay, well, if we can kill this Masked Hunter, that'll be 2 cultists down. Now, I could, if I wanted to, just move here, take a hit, so we can fight on top of that, because we can actually bypass the locked door and get a clue from this if we use Roland to kill on top of it. But I think I don't want to stack up that much damage. I think we're just going to use all of our actions to fight this thing. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a way we can actually... Man, it really sucks we wasted that vicious strike. Alright, well, let's see what we can do. I think we're just going to, use our actions to fight. I don't think we're going to end up using Guard Dog. Let's commit Guard Dog to increase our chances. So that brings us up to a 7 versus 4. Got a +1, didn't need to do it, but that's okay. So that, with the machete, that's going to be 2 damage on the Masked Hunter. Second action, we're going to fight just regular. It makes us 6-4. -1, that's still going to be a success. That's another 2 damage with machete. Goes up to 4. And last action, we're going to fight again. It's going to be a 0. Alright, we got all 3 actions done. Max damage. Okay, we only need to hit it once more, and that's going to be it for that. We need to start getting Wendy to some places that can get locations. St. Mary's is at a 4. So that's going to be Roland's turn. How do I want to do this? We have a lot of resources now. I could actually... Shoot. If we play the rabbits, or play the amulet, Rabbit's Foot gets put on top of the discard, so we can't play the emergency cache again. I could move where Masked Hunter is and backstab. That's a waste of a damage. Well, let's break down this. We have a liquid eye found, so let's actually just try and break down this door. We can do it with agility. We're at 5 agility to 4. Let's use. I don't think we're gonna end up using both of these backstabs. I don't think. So let's, because we have a lot of other costing cards in our hands. So let's use up 1, commit 1, so we end up 6 to 4. We got the +1, of course, so we didn't really need to do that, but that's okay. So better be safe than sorry. All right, so we pick the lock on this door. So now we can investigate it. It's currently at +2 because of the obscuring fog, so it's 4 to 3. I could use the flashlight. I think we'll save the flashlight though, because we have a liquid eye found, and we're sort of hoping to fail by 1 or more, or 2 or less. So I guess, well, actually, yeah, let's just go for it. 3 to 4. We got the +1, so we 3 to 4. We actually succeed. I actually didn't want to succeed there, which is funny. Oh, I can actually discard a card from my hand to redraw another one, but that's not worth it. All right. Well, so we have 1 more action then. Yeah, I broke down the door, or picked the lock, investigated. Oh, and that actually removes this because we actually did successfully investigate. So that brings it down to a 2. So let's just investigate again for our last action. Oh, actually, we could get another cultist in play. Let's actually use our 3rd action to do that, just before we accidentally end up losing our clues for some reason. So we're going to discard our 4 clues total, and draw the top card of the cultist deck. So we got Wolfman Drew, spawns at downtown. Definitely built for battle, 4 combat, 4 health, 2 evasion, and when it attacks, heal 1 damage. Spawns at the very top there. All right, well, that's definitely going to be... Actually, it's not an elite, funny enough. So we could actually get Wendy up there. It only has 2 evasion. We don't have Waylay, though, which is sort of what we wanted. That sort of sucks. We could actually kill it, potentially, if we're lucky with the backstab. Because backstab does 3 damage. That's okay. Alright, well, that's going to be Wendy's turn. End of the, or enemy phase, Masked Hunter is going to attack Roland. And I think we'll just have Beat Cop take it all. Because we have another Beat Cop in hand. Don't have the resources for it, but I think that's okay. I'd rather not take 2 damage and 1 horror. I guess we could split it as well. We would take 1 damage, go up to 3, and take 2 horror. Ooh, that's not. Or 1 horror. That's not the worst. We can heal with first aid. I just don't think we have the resources to play Beat Cop again. So I think we're better off keeping him around if possible. Yeah, plus we still need to do an extra damage, and Beat Cop will help with that. So yeah, we'll just split the damage. So Beat Cop will take 1, and we'll take 1 each. So we'll be at 3 damage and 2 horror. All right. So upkeep phase, enemy as well as us unexhausts. Both get a resource and draw a card. Roland gets to draw. Ooh, we drew Lita Chandler. All right. Oh, we're definitely getting rid of. Should have definitely had Beat Cop to take all the damage then. But that's okay. That'll be good. That'll be good when we're fighting Wolfman Drew. And Wendy draws another manual dexterity, and that's going to be really useful just to get through our deck. Perfect. All right. Doing good so far. Alright, Mythos phase. We get another Doom. We're running low on the encounter deck. We have on Wings of Darkness for Roland. You test agility. If you fail, take 1 damage and 1 horror, then disengage from each non-Night Gaunt enemy, and move to a central location. Well, we're already in the central location, so that would essentially just let us disengage with Masked Hunter. It actually sort of helps out, even if we fail. Alright, so it's a 3 to 4 test. I don't think I have anything I can really commit. I don't think we're going to be using Shortcut anytime soon. So I guess we'll do that, because I don't want to take a damage and a horror. Although even if I do, we're not going to be using Beat Cop anyways. Because Wings of Darkness is going to let us disengage from this enemy, and then we can play Lita Chandler, re-engage, and then attack. Oh wait, Lita Chandler, right. Lita Chandler only does an extra damage against monster enemies. He's not a monster. Yeah, so we actually sort of want Beat Cop around to discard for that extra damage. Yeah, I don't think we're going to play Shortcut. Let's commit Shortcut to make it even. So we're at 4 to 4. Hey. Alright, again, sorry for the cut. Camera's going wonky here. But we are just fighting the Masked Hunter. Or no, we're not fighting the Masked Hunter. We're doing our Wings of Darkness test. And we committed 1 card, so we're at 4 to 4. And of course, I drew this off camera, but drew the success, which lets us effectively not take the damage and the horror, but we still get to disengage from the Masked Hunter, which is nice. And then for Wendy's encounter card, Wendy gets Wizard of the Order. Ooh, that's an enemy. Spawn at an empty location. At the end of the Mythos phase, place 1 Doom. Let's go just put it at north side, because Roland's going to move there at some point. Actually, let's go Graveyard, because Roland can move over there. Yeah, Roland can move to the Graveyard. So let's do that. End of the Mythos phase, get another Doom on there. Alright, we are getting close to max Doom, so you gotta be pretty careful. Alright, well, let us use Roland and finish off this Masked Hunter. Yeah, we're going to re-engage. Well, actually, we don't have to re-engage. We'll just attack the Masked Hunter with our first attack with Beat Cop and Machete. Oh, Machete only works... Well, actually, that's fine. We're going to discard Beat Cop anyways to get Lita Chandler into play, I think. So we're at 6 to 4. We get the 0. That's going to be a success. So that does 1 damage, and then we're going to discard Beat Cop afterwards for an extra damage, and that's going to finish off the Masked Hunter, and that's going to be another cultist in our victory display, which is awesome. So that's our first action. Second action, I think we are going to play Lita Chandler. So we're getting extra fight and get extra damage against monster enemies. Well, actually, maybe I just want to move over to Wizard of the Order and attack. Could potentially get a clue off this and kill another enemy. Because I don't really need Lita Chandler, I don't think. Can discard the other Machete. Extra +1 does help it a lot, but I don't think it's super necessary right now. Yeah, we'll use our second action to move into the graveyard. Flip this over. It's 1 Shroud, 4 clues on it. Damn. After you enter... Ooh. Oh no. After you enter graveyard, test willpower. If you fail, you must either take 2 horror or move to Rivertown. Yikes. Well, we're at 3-3. Can't commit anything. Oh, and we draw the -2. And I don't want to take... Oh, do I go up to 4 horror with Roland? Yikes. Well, actually... If you... Yeah, we do enter the graveyard, and we still engage... So that still causes Wizard of the Order to engage with us, right? So that actually is fine. So that actually would pull us back to Rivertown with Wizard of the Order. So we can still use our 3rd action to attack, but then we don't get a clue from here. That's unfortunate. Well, let's kill him anyways. Because I gotta get rid of that Doom, and I gotta free myself up. So we're gonna use our machete, so that makes us 5-4. Not great odds. Oh, that's gonna be a tablet. -3. If you fail, place one of your clues at the location. Well, we don't have any clues. Oof, not a good turn for us. Alright, what do you want to do with Wendy? Wendy's got to get a move on, but I think we're going to first investigate here. We are at 3 to... We're going to use our last flashlight charge, bring it down to 1, so we're at 3-1. And we draw the auto fail, but I am going to discard a card using her ability. We're going to discard, I think... Let's discard Elusive. I don't think we need that. Actually, we're not doing much attacking. Let's discard Backstab. So that lets us redraw. And we get the -1. So that is going to be a success. Thanks to the flashlight. Actually, even with a -1, that would have succeeded normally, so that's fine. So we get another clue, which is good. We're going to spend our 2nd action to move to... Actually, it's worth moving to Graveyard, because it's really easy to search stuff there. But we got to get to Wolfman Drew instead. Yeah, let's just use both of our actions to move to North Side. So, oh, we can spend 5 resources to gain clues here. Nice. So there's 4 there. Once per game. Oh, this is group limit once per game. So I could have actually done these with Roland, or done these with the opposite person. Whoops. The special actions. All right, well that's fine. Well, we can't get the clues just yet. We do have enough resources, but that's okay. So that's going to be that turn. Wizard of the Order is going to attack us for 1 damage, which I'm just going to put onto... Oh, wait. Yeah, we don't have Lita Chandler in play. Whoops. I guess we're just taking that damage. Not worth dodging, so we'll just go up to 4. Not looking great for Roland, but that's okay. He's a tanky boy. Alright, and then end of the round, upkeep phase, we're going to get a resource each, draw a card. Roland gets Heavy Furs. That's good. And Wendy gets another Waylay. Alright, so that's good. So we can actually use Waylay on Wolfman Drew to kill him. Cool. So that is going to be it for that. So we get another Doom onto the... That's the Mythos phase. Last card in the encounter deck. And I think we just reshuffle, right? I don't think it's like our player deck where we take a horror once we reshuffle. We have Mysterious Chanting for Roland. Place 2 Doom on the nearest cultist enemy. Uh-oh. That means we're up to 7. Oh boy. Alright, okay, we definitely need to kill Drew. Because 1 more Doom and then this is gonna flip over. Alright, and then let's reshuffle the encounter deck. That's really bad. Oh, so these should flip back. Alright, and for Wendy, Wendy gets Crypt Chill. Test willpower. If you fail, discard 1 asset. That's perfectly fine because we have the flashlight to discard. So we're at 4-3 or 4-4. We got the auto fail. That's fine. I'm just gonna take the fail and we're just gonna discard our flashlight, which was already spent. All right, so our turn. We're going to use Roland and just try to kill this Wizard of the Order finally. And I think we will just... We don't need another machete, so I'm just going to commit my machete. So we're at 6-4. We get the -1. That's going to be a success still. And that's 2 damage with the machete, so let's gets rid of a doom. Unfortunately, we do not get a clue. That's fine. Ugh. Okay, well, maybe we don't worry about trying to go for graveyard then. I could move to the locked door here to try and break that down. I think we just need more things. Let's get lead a champ. Actually, I think beat cop's just better. Because we're not really sticking around each other. But actually no. Let's get Lita Chandler. Lita Chandler can soak up more damage and she's free. So that's our second action. Our third action, I think we're just going to use a heal with the first aid and heal our damage by 1. So we'll go down to 3, back down to 3 damage. Because we're going to start tanking some more. Alrighty. Alright, Wendy's turn. So Wendy is going to move to Wolfman Drew. It's going to engage with her. But then we are going to immediately spend our second action to disengage using... Actually, we don't really need to use anything. We're at 4-2. Or actually, we're at 5-2 thanks to Peter. So I'll take that. We got -2, but that still makes it 3-3. That's going to be a success. So then it exhausts Wolfman Drew. And then for our last action, we'll pay 3 to use Waylay. Because it is not an elite enemy. So we're going to pay 3. And we're going to test agility, where X is its value. It's 2, so we're at 5-2. And we get our positive. Don't have our amulet in play, but that doesn't matter. And because of Waylay, that's going to immediately defeat that enemy, getting rid of 2 doom and getting another cultist into our victory display, where we have 3 cultists. We only have 4 more turns, assuming we don't get more doom into play, so we have to be very, very careful. I think we have enough time maybe to get 1 more. That's going to be all of her turn, though. Well, we only have 1 clue on Wendy. Next turn, Wendy can... Next turn, Wendy can go here, spend 5 resources to get 2 clues. We still need 1 more clue, though. Oh, if we can get to the graveyard, that would be nice. Yeah, if we could get to the graveyard, that'd be good. Oh, dropping cards. I could dig deep into play so she has a better chance of getting into graveyard, but unfortunately she would have to move here, then here, and spend pretty much her whole turn. Either way, enemy's turn, no enemies in play. Upkeep phase, we refresh our stuff. Get a resource each. I definitely should get Wendy's amulet into play because our Rabbit's Foot, we're actually succeeding all these checks. And we draw a card for Roland. Roland gets overpower. It's good. And we get elusive for Wendy. Okay. Well, let's get a doom onto the track. We're at 5 doom for Roland. Roland gets a haunting Night Knot. Unfortunate. It engages him. And for Wendy, we get a locked door. Well, we get to choose, I think, because these both have 4 on it. Now, this ability to spend 5 resources and gain 2 clues, I think bypasses a locked door. We'll just put locked door on here, because we're going to be going there anyway, so we can use Wendy to get rid of that. We are up to 5 doom, though. Oof. That's risky. Can we do this? Well, Unfortunately, well, at least Hunting Night Knot's a monster, so Lita Chandler does an extra damage. We can do 3 damage. So either way, I have to spend 2 turns to kill the Night Knot. Ooh, this is gonna be close. It's gonna be really close. So if we start with Wendy, though, Wendy can move. Yeah, so Wendy can move here, spend 5 resources, get 2 clues. Yeah, no matter what, we have to spend another full round. Because if we get unlucky and our next turn we draw a bunch of doom, that's gonna be unfortunate. I think we might cut our losses here. It's 3. Ugh. Ugh. So tough to say. I think we just play risky. Alright, we're gonna go here. We're gonna spend 5 resources with North Side to gain 2 clues. So we have 3 clues total. Then we're gonna use our last action to pick the lock. So we're at 5 to 4. We draw the auto fail. I'm going to use her ability and discard an elusive to redraw the token. And we get the 0, so that's going to be a success. So that locked door is picked, which is great. And that's freed up. That's going to be her whole turn. For Roland is going to spend your whole turn trying to kill this thing. So we're going to use our first action with Lita Chandler and the machete. We're at 6 to 3. We get the success. It counts as a 0 for us, but that's 2 damage on the Haunting Night Knot. Or actually 3 damage on the Haunting Night Knot. And we're going to use our second action to attack again. Same thing. We get a 0 this time, so that's going to kill the Haunting Night Knot. No clue for us to get. That would have been really, really nice. But we have one more action we can do. And I think... Do we just set up some more? Like, I could try to get here, but... Man, that's not an easy test unless we spend a dodge. And even then, it's only at +1. I think we just get our heavy furs into play maybe and set up for the last round, because I think we're only going to do one more round, and heavy furs can potentially help us redraw something. So let's get our heavy furs into play as well. And that'll be it for him. Upkeep, because there's no enemies. Each get a resource. Draw a card. Wendy draws Lucky. Okay, that's going to be really, really useful. And then Roland draws another Overpower. So we don't have enough enemies to kill. Mythos phase, we get a Doom on the track. We're up to 6. Encounter card for Roland. We get an Acolyte. Oh man, all these enemies spawning on top of us. Actually, no, it spawns on an empty location. Let's spawn it on the... Now, empty location, does that just mean anything that doesn't have an enemy or an investigator? No enemies or investigators. Okay, so we can actually put it onto this locked door location because we can actually use it to bypass the locked door if we kill the Acolyte on top of there. And that puts another Doom on. Whoops. Uh-oh. So we're at 7 total? Okay. Well, we're definitely going to kill that guy this round. And then for Wendy, Wendy gets Haunting Night Knot. We do not want enemies on her. This is bad. That was real bad. Alright, well, our turn. Well, Roland's going to move here, engage with the Acolyte and attack. With Lita Chandler, we're at 6 to 3. Get the +1 or +3 at this location. It's going to be a success. It's going to kill this Acolyte. And because of our Roland's ability, we do get a clue. So there's 2 left on here. So that gives us enough. And I think for our last action, we are going to use Roland's last action to spend our 4 clues that we have in total to draw another card from the Cultist deck. Victoria Devereaux. So it spawns at North Side. And 3 combat, 3 health, 2 agility. Spawns at north side. We can spend 5 resources to parlay and get rid of her that way. Well, we're at north side with Wendy. That means, 2 enemies engaged with Wendy. Now, here's what we could do. It's Wendy's turn. Wendy's got 2 enemies on her. We do have a emergency cash in hand. I could choose. We're going to take a lot of damage here. But I do have Peter to help bleed some off. So here's what I'm thinking. We play emergency cash, just take the attack of... Actually, no. Could I... Oh, no. Elusive moves us to a revealed location with no enemies, and I don't want to do that because I actually want to parlay with Victoria. Because here's what I was thinking. We can emergency cash for 3 resources. We'd have 6 total. Take an attack of opportunity. Do another action to parlay, which actually... Now that I think about it, parlay doesn't actually trigger attacks of opportunity. If you're engaged with an enemy and spend any action to do anything other than fight, evade, or activate a parlay or a resign ability. Okay, sweet. So we can actually do that and not take one. Yeah, let's actually do that. So we're going to play emergency cash to get 3 resources, bringing us to 6 total. We do get an attack of opportunity from that. So we're taking 2 damage, bringing us up to 3, and we take 1 horror from the Haunting Night Knot. I'm just going to get Peter to take that, because he can actually heal 1 horror. Our second action, we are going to parlay with Victoria. So that's for 5 resources. And that immediately puts her into the victory display. And then our last action is going to be not a resign. We are going to use our last action to... Oh, actually, no, it is going to be a resign. Yeah, resign off of the agenda card. So you don't want to risk taking too long, so you head to safety with the information that you've gathered as her last action. And that is going to get us out of dodge. And even if the Haunting Night Knot did attack us on the way out, she still has enough health. Because at this point, we are at 6 doom. And I don't think we would have had enough time to get the clues, put the cultist into play, and still get rid of it. But that's going to be it. We have successfully gotten out of the the scenario with our head still intact and our sanity still in check. And we got actually 4 cultists, which is a lot more than I was suspecting. So my girlfriend and I, with a starter decks, we couldn't even get 1. Because we just got overwhelmed with Haunting Night Knots and Acolytes, and the starter decks are just not well equipped enough to deal with that. So that is going to be, I would say, a relatively good success. We only left 2 cultists behind. And that means we can move to our end. So it's not going to be that. Yeah, so we actually don't get that one either, because that's not full. So resolution 2. 12 bells ring out, signaling midnight. You're out of time. The cult's ritual will begin shortly. You've managed to obtain some useful information about the cult and its plans. You can only hope it's enough. So we have to keep track of who we've captured and who we've got away. And then we have to record that it is past midnight in our campaign log. If the Ghoul Priest is in the victory display, Ghoul Priest died in scenario 1, and each investigator earns experience equal to the victory X value of each card in the victory display. And we ended up getting 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Masked Hunter, and 5 for Ruth Turner. We actually have 5 experience total. Not bad. Not bad at all. And that is going to be it for scenario 2. All right, well, no mental traumas, no one got defeated. I think we did pretty well there. Lita Chandler still survived as well. But that is going to do it for our second scenario for the core box of Arkham Horror. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely go check out the previous video if you, for some reason, didn't watch it before this one. You can definitely check out my Final Girl Let's Play as well. I'll definitely be getting some more Final Girl onto the channel also, and just be on the lookout for more Arkham Horror. Thank you so much for everyone who's watched. Really surprised at the amount of views the last video got, but it seems like there's a lot of Arkham Horror fans out there, so hopefully you enjoyed this playthrough. And my friends and I just picked this up, Murder at the Excelsior Hotel. I think I'm going to introduce my friends into Arkham Horror using that, because we're going to be doing our first 4-player game tonight. I'm going to probably run them through the intro scene scenario for this, just to get them introduced to the game, and then maybe we'll try out Murder at the Excelsior Hotel. Or maybe we'll just play through more of the core box, because now that I know that we can actually handle the second scenario fairly well, I think we're in much better shape than just using the starter decks. So that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.